Hello and welcome to today's video, which is a journaling video where I am completing my reading journal setup for the month of October. I used a dot green journal for this because the dots are very helpful with keeping everything even and spaced out correctly. I also like that it keeps everything structured when I do use it. I make my own journal because it is the best way for me to keep track of the books I have read and any other book information that I want to keep track of. And I've organized the background of my setup with Halloween things. Look at the bat light I have right there. And with everything done, let's begin the video. What I first do for my reading journal setup is make the cover page for the month, where I choose a theme that I want to use along with the name of the month, which this time happens to be October. This page is used to show that it is a new month in my journal. It's a good way to separate one month ending to the new one starting. Since October is the month I am working on, I wanted a theme that fit with the month. Something scary or spooky, and I ended up with a ghost theme, but I also wanted to tie this in with this being a reading journal. So what I did was I put ghosts with books. They like to read a lot of books, as you can see from the pile of books that are next to the ghosts right there. It's reading, and it also has a big pile of books next to it. I like to think that this ghost should be haunting someone or being scary, but they prefer just hanging around and reading books. I also am using Halloween related colors by using orange, purple, black, and green markers, along with drawing cobwebs and bats around so that it looks spooky. To me, this technically makes my theme haunted house a bit, just because the ghosts are living there, and since there's cobwebs and bats and spiders, that seems like a house that's haunted. Next in my setup is a books tracker page. I like to make this for my journal because it helps with tracking the books I am reading and by how many hours, pages I read each day, and when I finish the book. I have on the left a calendar where I track each book I read, and on the right I have the list of books with other information like the genre, rating, title, and author of each of the books. I cut out half a page as I wanted to add some cute ghosts since I wasn't able to add them on the other pages. These ghosts are hanging out and having a nice time. One is reading and walking, or would it be floating actually? Probably floating. While the other is trying to be scary by holding a poster that says boo. I made a quotes page where I will write out any phrases or anything from a book that I just want to remember that it made an impact on me enough to want to write it out. It can be something that I found insightful, interesting, or funny. Now, onto the ghost here. This ghost has a hat, and after I drew the hat, I felt like it was a working ghost. And any working ghost has to have a briefcase, which this one has. And the hat, it just means it has a job. I should have added a tie. That would make it look so much more like a working ghost. Oh my gosh. There should be a tie. I forgot it. Well, the job is probably scaring or haunting people. I really like this ghost. The hat and the briefcase make it look so cute. A little working ghost going to its little job. Working ghost. It's necessary for me to have a page in my setup that is where I have all the books I have read for the month. Thus, the reason for October books page. I know I track my books on a previous page, but it's not the same as having a place where I can just look at the title of the books and nothing else. Makes it so easy to just know what books I've read and really quickly access it. Also, the ghost here at the bottom is holding all the books I read for the month. And that's what October Books is. All the books I've read, just like the ghost has in its hands the books they've read for the month. Then I have the overview page. I use this to track other book statistics for myself. I chose this time a line graph kind of style for tracking, but I might change this to a pie chart next month. I want to see how a pie chart would be different to the kind of line graph style I have right now. At the moment, the things I am tracking are going to be genre, rating, and amount of pages. Very quickly, amount of pages doesn't really make sense, and what it means is that for each book I'm going to have the amount of pages. So for example, if a book is 200 pages, that one will count for one of the ranges I have put. I don't know if it's 100 or greater than or less than 200, but it would fit into one of those, and that's how I would track how much and which one would be the one that I have read more of between page wise, if that makes sense. Now that that's out of the way, it's time for me to talk about the ghosts. And the ghost on the bottom left has to be by far my favorite ghost. No, he is my favorite ghost. And that ghost is Detective Ghost. He's a detective who's also a ghost, solving ghost crimes all the time, has a magnifying glass because any true professional detective ghost has one. That's how you know they're detectives. Duh. Has a trench coat with a bunch of pockets. You can't see those pockets because they're inside secret pockets where he stores all the evidence and any gadgets that a detective ghost has, so they can't be seen. Inside pockets. Smart. Also want to add that the detective ghost hat is different than the working ghost hat. The working ghost hat has a line. This one doesn't have a line there to add another color to it. So detective ghost hat is different than working ghost hat. That has to be said. They're not the same. I love this ghost so much as he loves to solve crimes, and he's also the best detective ghost that there is. Also, I drew footprints right there because Detective Ghost is on the case of whatever, and he has those footprints right there that he's going to follow. I don't know where they lead. No one knows where it leads. But you know who does know? Detective Ghost, who's on the crime. Detective Ghost. I made a whole song. That's how much time I had in spending on this page and sketching it out. I spent so much time on genre pages, rating types, and thinking about how I wanted them tracked that I just spent so much time in drawing this. And also the amount of time I spent on how to draw a trench coat. And it's not even that good, but I tried really hard to make it a good trench coat. And I did forget the sleeve to color it in, so it seems like Detective Ghost has a trench coat that is sleeveless, and that was completely my fault because I forgot to draw the sleeve thing onto the ghost's hand arm. So there you go. But Detective Ghost is still the one cool detective. Detective Ghost. final pages of the setup are the notes page. I like to have a space where I can write out any notes, thoughts I have on a specific book I am reading, any questions I have, my overall thoughts of the book, any dots I am trying to connect if the book is a mystery or thriller genre book, or writing how awesome or terrible a character is. I can go into detail about how much I do not like someone or like someone in a book. This is where I keep all of that information stored. It's just really good to have everything in one place where I can just dump it all, my thoughts on the books, with no real thought process to it. Just anything I'm feeling at the moment, thinking at the moment, goes here for those books. The ghosts here are your typical reading ghosts, just like hanging out in silence, reading books, just chilling. No detective ghost here. There's only one detective ghost, and that is why he is the best detective ghost, because there could only be one detective ghost. At the moment, I keep the notes as 1 or 2 pages, but I might in the future, depending on how much I'm thinking or thoughts I have on books, I'm going to add more pages to this. But at the moment, I like to just do 2 and then see what happens. Now that I've finished with all of the pages and the setup is done, it is time for a flip through of the completed spreads. So first one is the cover page, books tracker with the middle tab that I have there with the ghosts on both sides, quotes, October books, overview, notes page, and if needed, I will be adding more, but for now, 1 page is enough. With that done, all that's left is to say thank you for watching the video and for joining me in making all these spreads for my reading journal for October. And until the next time, goodbye.